Turn her up.
Yes. I would like to introduce Pastor Al Linnell, and he's with our Flagler Estates Pentecostal Fellowship.
I am.
The center church that you could drive by on Flagler Estates Boulevard.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All welcome. And if you give a moment, just prepare for this meeting. Heavenly Father, we give you praise, glory, and honor. We thank you, Lord, for this night, that we can be good stewards over your word. Father, give us wisdom, knowledge, understanding of how to delegate this committee tonight. Let it be done through truth, love, and peace. This I ask in the name of Christ Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Okay, well, everybody rise. Please say the pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have anybody that would volunteer to be sergeant at arms tonight?
Oh, no, don't be looking at me. I'm already doing recording.
Okay. All right, nobody?
I'm not sure.
What's Sergeant
I'd
Arms?
help, but I'm not sure.
Sergeant at arms just keeps everybody calm.
Right there.
And when they speak, they have 3 minutes.
Perfect, I got time. I'll take care of it.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. That will be microphone. All right, as I said a minute ago, Talisha is with the conflict, but she is on the phone. I'm Deborah Watson, and I am the co-chair, and I'm leading it since she's not here. And this is Shirley, and she is our secretary. We have a visitor tonight that is running for District 3 County Commissioner. And he's also just volunteered to be our Sergeant at Arms, is Mike McDonald. So he's going to speak a little bit.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Well, I just wanted to come out, my name is Mike McDonald, I just wanted to come out and introduce myself and make sure Flagler Estates knows that I would represent you guys as I would my own district. You guys are in my district, I think you're just on the outskirts of it, but I would stand up for Flagler Estates for any issue that you guys present to me and that you guys present to the board. I've advocated for you guys having a fire station. I would look to see if you guys have any other issues that the board could solve. And I just want you guys to know that I would represent Flagler Estates to the best of the locals' ability. And I'm an affected American, and that's the reason why I stood up to run. I want to protect what we have in place and try to keep what we have going, and try to stand up for the small businesses and the people that are affected. I mean, because I don't think the affected Americans in St. Johns County have correct representation. I would love to see us to have just a brighter future, and one where the people have as much resources and much representation as you could possibly get your hands on. And, yep, I've got a card over there if anybody would like to speak. My number's on the back, and I'd be happy to chat.
Don't raise our taxes.
Hey, I'll roll the military back. I will roll the military back. I'll tell you that. I advocated for that person.
Boy, that's not cheap toilet paper now, okay?
I'll split it with you.
God bless you.
Down to 2 ply.
There you go. Only 1 ply.
Okay, the approval of the minutes. I'd like to motion that we approve the minutes of the June meeting. Okay. And Talisha, was that the approval from you? Okay. So we all approve.
Excuse me.
All right, and now we have a guest speaker tonight. He is with the St. John's Office of the Sheriff, Mr. Greg. I knew I was going to say it wrong.
All right, thank you, everybody. I brought everybody. I really just happen to be the guy that the emails and requests come to, so I normally call in reinforcements that are more familiar with the area typically than I am. I have been with the Sheriff's Office 26 years. I am mostly a North End guy, so I haven't spent a lot of time down in Flagler Estates, but I've got Lieutenant Chris Collins, who's currently down here.
He's stepped outside to work with the
No,
county.
but
Issue.
everybody that you see here is working down here currently, and their supervisor, and Chris is the watch commander down here, and then TJ Williams is the sergeant who works in community engagement with me and also the sheriff. But we typically will go out, the sheriff gets pulled in a lot of different directions, as you can imagine. So we go out on his behalf and talk to the people in the community. We go set up booths and tents at festivals and do all that kind of stuff to try and talk to the people and hear from people and see what's going on and then report back to the sheriff. Kind of what they asked me to talk about tonight real quick was the fire station / sheriff's office that's coming in. If you're not familiar with that, it'll be station 21 and it's going to go right here on this next corner. The fire station, from this point forward, every time the county builds a fire station, they're going to make it a fire station / sheriff's office station as well. So how that typically works in the ones that they've already established is they'll give us an area that has a number of offices, a receptionist for records, a conference room, and then just different things that we would stop in and need a nice place to go to the bathroom and sit down and eat your meal and that kind of thing. So that's kind of what it sets up for us. It allows a place for the watch commander and the sergeants and the deputies to get together and meet. That's safe and also, it puts us out in the community a little closer to everybody. You'll probably be able to go there for records, inquiries and things like that. And that's typically 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. It's not usually open throughout the weekend, but they normally have a way or a phone or something there that if you need a deputy, you can go there, get on that phone and call and have somebody come meet with you at that office. So that's normally how those regional stations or quadrant stations work. The other stuff they asked me to talk about was the stats and kind of what's been going on out here in Flagler Estates. One of the things I wanted to mention, and I'm going to let Lieutenant kind of talk to your stats and the activity down here, but we've had a lot of people talk about the Verizon signal not being fantastic down here and cell phones being kind of hit or miss when you're trying to call into the sheriff's office. And I don't know if a lot of people realize that if you can't get through on your phone and you have just a little bit of signal, you can actually text to 911 and you can text to the non-emergency number. If you need to do it that way, you can do that and it will go through to the sheriff's office. And they will get back to you by text. So if you don't have that strong signal to communicate by telephone, you can do it all through text if you need to. All right, so keep that in mind. You do, just like you would normally send a text, in the 2, you put 911 or the non-emergency number is 904-824-8304. It's on almost all that stuff over there if you grab anything on the way out. But that number in the 2, and then type whatever the problem is in the body of the text, then you'll get an automated response just so you know that it went through, and then a dispatcher will get on or a communications operator will get on and communicate with you in real time by text. They may ask you at some point, hey, are you able to talk on the phone or do you have a strong enough signal you can talk on the phone? But they will not call you on the phone until you say that you will talk on the phone. And we do that for several reasons. A lot of times that's used by people who are trying to be secretive or they're trying to not have somebody else hear them on the phone calling in. So they're not going to call you on the phone and alert somebody to the fact that you may be on the phone with the sheriff's office until you say it's safe to do so and you initiate that. But that text calling, even if it's not 911 and you use a non-emergency number, is a great way for people to still be able to call for help if you need to when you don't have much of a signal or a strong enough signal to get through. Okay. Lieutenant, you have stats you want to talk about, or do you want to go through what I've got? Either way.
Sure. I wrote a few kind of highlights. This is just in general what affects the most people. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Chris Collins. I'm watch commander here for this shift, but for the South region, which includes from the Anastasia Island to Flagler County to Putnam County to 207, the edge of 207 to Holmes Boulevard. So I've kind of got a mixed bag of geographical area. But I have an affinity for the Hastings, Flagler Estates area. This area is where I started my career as a brand new guy on my own. So I cut my teeth here. I truly enjoy being back in the South in this role that I currently hold. I want to be out here. I want to be working out here, and all these guys do too. The stats I've got today, I pulled for a 6-month period, just kind of gives a general snapshot of what you guys are dealing with. And I only pulled stats for, it's called Hotel 4, is this subsector. It's just the Flagler Estates area. There's boundary, and it covers this general area. We have a total from January to now, which is yesterday when I pulled these, total of 184 reports for a 6-month time frame. That's low. That's relatively low considering the amount of people that live out here. 12 burglaries. One of my former roles was the property crimes unit sergeant. 12 burglaries in a 6-month period. At one point in time, you couldn't leave your house vacant for any amount of time without the AC wandering off. I mean, 12 is phenomenal. It's pretty stellar. Criminal mischiefs, there were 8. Stolen vehicles are 5. There's some dynamics there with stolen cars. Typically, stolen cars are people left their keys in their cars, or it's their family member who's got an issue. Their daughter who's not supposed to have it took it. It's not rampant crime in the area where you live in your community. Stolen cars are not a great reflection, but it's a good number to look at to see, hey, is there a problem here? That when it's not that relationship where the offender is unknown with a lot of stolen cars, the ones I pulled, the suspect was related in some capacity. And in 6 months, you only had 5. That's not a ton. Arrest was 59 compared to I'll use the downtown Hastings area. It's about 50-50. You guys about even. It's just some days they come work and the calls are more prevalent in Flagler Estates. Some days the calls and the arrest warrants that get issued for various reasons are issued over there, and it's an influx of up and down.
Can I ask a question?
Sure. Yeah.
That number, is there a way to narrow it down between residents and people who come in here, say, to drive ATV vehicles?
So I knew ATVs would come up in this meeting because they're a pain in the neck for everybody, including us. So I'd have to get with our IT department to give me some broader technical abilities.
I'm just wondering how many people are being arrested here that might not actually reside here. That's
Sure, you can run those numbers for where the suspect had a 32145 zip code, and then show me all the ones that didn't.
okay.
I did not do that, but that's something that we could facilitate via email if you wanted to know. And all this data is public record, just so you know. Unless it's an ongoing investigation, you guys have access to citizens. Florida has one of the broadest public records laws that exists. If there's something you want to know or question, as long as it's researchable and attainable. The ATV thing is a little tough. I actually searched because I wanted to know, because Sergeant Carver here have been, I won't use the word attack, but they have been ferociously working ATVs in the area of Division Street, because we know that's a perpetual issue that a lot of citizens that live in this area in particular deal with. And I'll give a tip of the cap to them and to Ag 2. Give me some help with that.
Deputy
Deputy Gentry, I'm sorry.
I mean, I think that ATV vehicles, if we had a designated space for them and a designated route for them, it would, it could be different, because I do have sympathy for people that spend the kind of money that it is, but I also know for a fact that down my road come trailers of people with ATVs that do not live here.
Right.
And that's why
and
I was just
our
curious.
goal with the trailers that haven't began riding is to stop in a legal capacity and educate. Hey, you're not supposed to legally ride here unless you have a registered motor vehicle. Our county ordinance has violations in place that we can stop you, ticket you, things of that nature. So I don't want to get really off on a tangent with
I'm sorry.
ATVs.
No,
It's a perplexing issue. The route to get them back here to be in a space, that's the county, that's DOT. We're involved, but it doesn't necessarily solely involve the sheriff's office.
We got four-wheelers down here and golf courts in the north end.
Yes.
People would have a right to go down there with their vehicles. They're having fun. That's America. They're out in the woods.
No, they're
Sorry,
not always in the
we're sorry
woods.
that people live down there on that road.
Right. So
You
it's a
gotta have
balance.
fun, you know?
It's a balance of you move down here, live out here, right out here, but then you've got people setting up with tents and grills and they're drinking all day, then driving their ATVs and wrecks happen and people get killed. And it's a complex issue.
Yes, I understand. Yeah,
So,
30 years.
there's more than one way to skin a cat.
What about the dirt bikes though?
Same thing. I mean,
Yeah, but I'm sorry, I live on Division
Yeah.
Street. And I don't see, I know y'all are mostly down the other end, but those dirt bikes, fly up and down
right.
almost every weekend.
Right.
I understand having
Look, we're not
fun.
gonna solve.
No, I know,
We're
we're
not gonna
just-
solve that issue tonight. I've been here almost 20 years.
There ain't no
And it
problem
was
ever
me.
gonna catch somebody on a dirt bike.
It was an issue back then, it's an issue now, it's
Real
just, we address it as we can. Yes, sir.
So in reference to the ATVs and stuff like that on Division and this issue in general, I'm just gonna touch on it real quick. Us deputies that work out here primarily are working with Flagler County to figure out a solution to that problem. It's going through the sheriff's office right now for both of them. Both heads have to agree on that for like a memorandum of understanding or something. But when we get down there on Division, half of Division Street in Flagler County, or in Flagler Estates, belongs to Flagler County, and the other half belongs to us. So it becomes a legal issue for us to enforce when that happens, especially since a lot of times they get on Division and then shoot right back over to Flagler County. We are working on that issue. It's just not coming as fast as, unfortunately, the public wants.
No, but I do appreciate y'all. 'Cause I've talked to,
Yeah, no one's
Before.
down in that.
no, I know,
Yeah,
but I do appreciate you.
I just don't wanna get an issue that we can't get away from.
I
We
don't
wind
see it
up,
as
we
an
wind up
issue.
going round and round and round and round and round.
We've been doing it back here for as long as I've been here.
But there's something that feel a little different. Let's stick to the stats. Let's just
Yeah,
leave it
yeah.
alone.
Demolition derby is on the field.
Traffic stops, we've got about almost 499, so 500 traffic stops in 6 months. So if one of your complaints is speeding, we're addressing that issue.
499 or 599?
499,
499.
almost 500.
But I will say, during the past couple weeks,
Mhm.
we have no issue all on Flagler Estates quite.
If you get a ticket, don't complain.
No.
No, go ahead, man, I'm with
You
you.
ask for the enforcement, we're doing it. That's
People
maybe
fly down
me
these
sometimes.
roads.
Which
Yeah.
reminds me, I don't know if anybody has complaint about Turpin.
Turpin Avenue.
Turpin and Flagler, most people don't stop.
We don't work 24/7, so I haven't received that complaint. But
Hey, nobody stops at a stop sign.
It's about- that is the truth.
Oh, I know. All you gotta do is go sit down, right? Turpin and Flagler Estates, and you sit there all day and get tickets.
We would love to do that, and we've tried that. The issue is we're driving a billboard, okay? And
Or
our
other calls for service. Like there are people that have other needs that are not
Yeah.
stop
As soon as
signs.
you park somewhere, somebody gets on Facebook and tells them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's called community awareness.
Communication skills, that's fine.
That's called don't knock them out.
You guys had 58 traffic crashes, which,
That's a lot.
not really.
No, cars are thirsty around here. They love
Think about the,
Yeah.
it could be anything from a fender bender to anything. The amount of people that traverse out of here to leave for work and come home from work every single day. You've had 58 in 6 months. If you break that up into the number of days in that 6 months, it's 180. That's low. And then the last one, 117 disturbances. The summer months, it's hot. People with air brakes. It's the car broke down. They're fighting with family, each other. Disturbances happen. They happen in every area of the county. It's only 117. I say only. That seems high, but it's not. That's less than one per day.
That's all John Tuthill, so. Ain't gonna worry about it. That's why he's up coming.
Senior or junior?
Both?
Senior was a frequent flyer when I was new.
Stop coming after we got beat up.
No, he stopped coming because, he's out making trouble while y'all are all sitting around.
Right. So those are the stats. Does anybody have any questions where I don't want to get stuck on a topic or a debate. This isn't to debate each other. It's not to debate us.
Mhm.
But if we can share information, I'd be glad to answer questions or if there's a topic or an item that you guys want to see from the sheriff's office that we're not providing in some fashion.
When is this card?
So that card is something we came up with. A lot of different agencies and places have different versions of it. But basically, if you live by yourself or if you are a person that has medical issues or that kind of thing, we tell you to fill that out, put it on your fridge, and put maybe another one in the glove box of your car. And the deputies know to look for that on your fridge or on your car if you're not able to communicate if something happens to you. And it's got your medication information, hospital, doctor, everything that you would need. And unfortunately, up to and including if you have a prearranged funeral kind of situation going on. Because we do have so many people who live by themselves as they age that a lot of times if they're incapacitated, fire rescue or us needs that information. So we encourage people to fill one out, put it on your fridge, fill another one out, put it in your glove box. That way if you get in an accident, you can't communicate, we look for that in your glove box. So,
I am gonna actually fill it out for my husband. He has a seizure disorder.
Yep.
And if none of us are home with him.
Yep.
And something had to, and he was able to call, but then checked out because he's in a cluster and nobody's home with him. Then
That's
I'll
what
put
it's
this on the fridge for my
that's what
husband.
it's
Thank you so
designed
much.
I got a question. I was curious if you know the average response time in Flagler Estates.
It depends on the type of call. It really does, and the deputies can be, they're mobile, so. It's
I
hard
just
to
see it so rural. I'm just curious of what an average.
So it depends on what part of the sector we're in, but the longest response time we have seen for a major call is less than 10 minutes, and that's where we're coming from the top of our zone, which is mile marker 316 north or southbound, all the way down here to Flagler Estates. So, depending on the situation, like if it's an emergency call for service where somebody's life is in danger, we're getting here pretty quick. Mind you, there are going to be other deputies that are going to be in the area that might get there quicker, but the average is roughly 10 minutes.
Yeah, we could pull the numbers and do the math for it.
I know. I'm just curious. I just see. I mean,
Average is 5 to 7 minutes for most agencies.
Getting here, it's just you see there's only a couple ways in. It's like your hands are kind of tied to.
Yeah. 5 to 7 minutes on average.
The nice thing about having that office here, if they
Without doubt.
normally do, is you may have extra detectives coming and going from there. You might have, they put a chief's office out here. You may have them coming and going. You probably already have. You may not realize it because some drive unmarked cars. You've probably got a lot more deputies coming and going out here that are coming to and from work already. That may be detectives or something else also. So if they roll up on those
We live
types of
everywhere.
things.
No, for sure.
Yeah. Exactly. Real quick, I wanted to say before we get too far away from stats. So I printed out stats. I think mine are from last Friday or Saturday, so they're going to be maybe a couple digits lower than his. But there's no addresses or anything on them. It just gives you every type of call and how many there have been in the 6 months. So because there's no identifiable information, I can leave those with you here if y'all want to look at everything and see what everything's been. I can leave that and you can take a look at it, just get an idea. But like the lieutenant said, compared to up where I'm at, it's literally used to take me 15 minutes to get to work. It's 45 minutes to an hour now to get to work with the traffic.
They used to be able to drive across St. Johns County in 15 minutes.
Exactly. Yeah. Same thing.
Amen.
Yeah. So I mean, it's I've been here 26 years. I bought my house up on 210 in the north end of the county. 26 when we had to live in the county when I got hired, so 26 years ago, and it's just, it's unbelievable the change. But you take those stats for an area the size of Flagler Estates in Joelton Creek, along 210 or Ponte Vedra or Nocatee, it's going to be quadruple that with the number of people.
I was just thinking you can't even get over the Bridge of Lions in 15 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
It might go up if you don't time it right.
Yeah, just because some of those numbers are high, it's just the population growth and the expansion, and people are calling us a lot more. It's those calls for service that are being generated. Our violent crime is extremely low. We had one homicide a couple years ago. 2 homicides the year before that. Everything that robberies, homicides, sexual assaults, all that kind of stuff, very, very, very low. It's just those, you got domestic violence, you got, petty theft. The number one thing in St. Johns County is people leaving their cars unlocked in their driveway. And the kids are out of school, they just go car to car, trying door handles. They don't break windows even. They just try the door handles and get the ones they can. That's the most common thing we see. And we ask people to lock their doors, and beep their cars at night. Don't leave your purse in there. Don't leave your gun in there, because inevitably those kids will hit 20 cars on a night, and 2 or 3 of them will have guns in them, and they get those guns. So that's the biggest thing we ask you: just make sure your stuff is locked up and stop those crimes of opportunity.
Do you know, in 20 years, St. Johns County will have 670,000 people?
I did see
Yeah.
that.
Can you believe that? Man, my dream is I lived Somerton all my life. That 207 and 95, the best I've ever seen. Yankee going. Sorry for that.
Former state trooper.
Yes, ma'am.
At the fire station.
Estimated time frame for the build out.
They said it'll be done by 25. So,
Nice.
Your own money to go down.
By
I'm
25?
excited.
they said it'll be done by 2025.
That's awesome.
So, and they're actually building 5 all the way out to 2035, I think. So,
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Excuse me. You ask about the fire station. I've been working with one person on the fire department. They call him Dusty, about what they want. And the engineering department, who's coming up with the blueprints, permits, and everything to do it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And right now, they want an engine, an ambulance, a tanker, and a military-style brush truck for brush fire.
Love it.
long overdue.
Yeah.
Long overdue.
Yeah.
It's one of the golden linings of population growth.
Yeah.
Get all that. And about 200 more firefighters, I heard. In those,
In those fire stations being added, they're gonna add employees.
I mean, we're hiring 15 to 20 deputies every 3 or 4 months just to keep up with the growth where we're
I feel
at.
bad for training officers right now.
All right, anybody else? We don't want to take your whole meeting. I just wanted to get all that information out to you. Anything else for us, and we'll get out of your way.
Well, thank you guys for serving.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate y'all. And if there's anything, she's got my email, the PACE email or my emails on that stuff over there. Most of that, I'm going to leave some of that. I'm not going to leave all of it, but I'll leave some of it for the people that use the community center. But if you have any questions or anything like this, or please email us, give us a call.
I'm gonna leave my cards on the table. I got a few. If you need something from the patrol side of the house, a response issue, something that's a problem that patrol can handle, take some off of their plate, because think about their area of responsibility. It's the entire county. I have just the south region of the county. So if you need something that's patrol related that I can help with, keep in mind we work patrol shift, so it's not every day. So if you email me or call me, it may not be an immediate response. I may be home sleeping or off. Just bear that in mind. If it's an emergent response, call the office. And the deputy working 24/7 will respond to you.
Before you all leave, if you all would get in
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to leave my
No, you're fine.
Or maybe we should sit down.
Yeah, y'all sit down.
You're ready to come here? Are you good? We'll sit down and hopefully they're not watching anybody.
Take several of them. All right. You smile.
We didn't want her to go to jail. We didn't want her to go to jail. Because they got things on it.
You can move over to your place.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, when you live out there, you live out there in 210.
Yes, sir.
25 years ago, that's when you're probably home.
I worked, when my first year, I worked more car versus bear crashes than car versus
I read that.
Definitely.
Well, we're at the end of May. Do we need to announce Mr. Gerry James?
Well, I kind of just found out about this and made a trip over here. I was in Orlando earlier today at a debate with Tom Leak and David Shore, who used to be the sheriff here. And I'll just introduce you just because I don't know how many of you know Michael. I am a former professional golfer and I played for 25 years. I'm an ordained minister. I do prison ministry in state prisons in Florida. I've done that for 15 years. I go into death row, level 7 security and level 8 security prisons mostly. I have been a financial advisor for the last 15 years as well. I decided to run for state senate back in 22 against Travis Hudson because I realized that we had a conflict of interest in our legislature and that you had people legislating that were also profiting from their legislation. So developers legislating, like Travis Hudson and his dad, basically setting out the tenets of their of their entire development operations, and they do that through a lot of the county commissioners and what have you. So, in that, Travis Hudson was a sitting senator. I thought that was a huge conflict of interest, so I decided to run against him, and I did. One man, I got a crew together, and we went at it. And I won on election day in 2 counties, and lost in Maryland Valley 4-1 in one of those counties. So we tried to verify signatures, and we were unsuccessful doing that. And since I've been told that some of those signatures were marked with an X, and other signatures were marked with Mickey Mouse, and the supervisor of election called to Tallahassee to see, in fact, if they would reject those, and they told them that they couldn't. So we have a problem in our election system right now, currently, and still. I've been married for 35 years to one woman, and I have 2 adult sons that are men. So, why I've decided to run again is because the same old's happening. And I don't know how many of y'all in here are Republican, and I don't know how many of y'all are going to vote in this coming primary. But I will tell you for a fact, if you don't, you're going to have the same old. We have a legislature right now that is completely sold out to big business. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, I'll tell you a story of what I'm talking about. Because the more I peel back the onion, the more the corruption is revealed. Yes, sir.
If you don't vote, you have no right to complain.
That's exactly right. 100%.
Because we've been having corruption since it's been started, watch.
And the only mail-in ballots should be military people.
That's 3 minutes, yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry.
True.
I'm a sergeant at arms tonight. It was kind of 3 minutes.
Oh, do I only have 3 minutes?
I was kind of.
That's what they told him.
Yeah, that's what they told me.
Go ahead.
I mean, it's up to you. It's your meeting. I just was told to be. I volunteered to be sergeant at arms.
Yep, my 20 minutes.
Because,
And
There you go.
normally we do, but
yeah, I mean, I came out here from, I don't know.
Yeah, make it happen.
Yeah, go for it.
you can go for it.
So, as I said, the more I looked into this and the more I was in the candidacy for this, the Senate seat, the more the onion started to peel back. And I tried to look for somebody to run for this seat again that was a patriot. And what I mean by patriot, love of God, love of country, and love of your neighbor. And also concern for what's going on. And I asked a few people that I knew that were conservative, and nobody has time. So I prayed about it, and I got basically said, you do it again, you know, I called you to do this, so I am. And since then, I've looked into campaign finance pretty heavy. So whether you know it or not, the insurance industry in this state has basically done a cost-benefit analysis. And they wanted to know how they could make their companies the most profitable possible for their shareholders. So you can't blame them for doing that because every company likes to know how they can make their company the most profitable. I will tell you right now, and you can check every word I'm saying, the insurance industry in Florida is the most profitable industry you can be in, bar none, okay? That's just a fact. And I will tell you right now that the insurance industry has donated the second most amount of money to the legislature in Florida of any industry in Florida. Guess what the first one is? Development.
No surprise.
Yeah, so it's development, then insurance, okay? They are both just massively donating to our legislatures. So our legislature turn around after they get the $40 million that they donated and they distribute it to whoever will write favorable legislation to those insurance industries. They come up with a bill right here, HB 837. HB 837. If you look through this bill, folks, as I have read every word of it, you would be surprised to find out that you're paying for insurance and they have transferred the liability from the insurance companies back to you.
Just like the banks.
That's exactly right. So that's what they got for donating their $40 million to Governor DeSantis to run for president, to Ashley Moody to run for our next governor, and to Tom Leak, who is the guy that I'm running against. And I just said this exact same thing to God and everybody on TV in a debate because they know it's true. Now, am I putting my life on the line, exposing these people? You better believe it, but I don't care. God's got my life in hand. You know, that's the way I feel about it. On the other hand, now you have David Shore, who was bought by the trial lawyers, okay? The trial lawyers put him up to running just a couple of months ago. Mind you, I've been running now for a year and a half because I knew what was happening. But the trial lawyers asked me if I would be pro marijuana, Amendment 4, and pro long-term abortion 24 weeks. And I said, absolutely not. I'm a Christian man. I seen what legalized pot did to Colorado, and I seen what legalized pot did.
I do too.
Yeah, make everybody millions of dollars.
Well, in 1933, they got rid of probation, which is the worst drug you can do is alcohol. And
Can you
marijuana.
let him finish? So,
Won't you,
no, so we can go home.
But anyhow, sir.
Yeah, I know you disagree, okay? But I'm against it.
I understand,
Right.
right? That's
My opinion, and that's what I'm telling you. I'm against it. Because I seen what it's done to California, and I seen what it did to Colorado. Recreate, all that, of course. All right. So, amen, it's done in a peaceful way.
That's bullcrap.
All right.
Let's just let him finish up.
Yeah,
Let's just let him finish up.
And I wasn't for long-term abortion, right? So I believe that life begins at conception.
Alright.
So, the trial lawyer association got off me and then went to and asked David Shore if he would run because I don't carry their agenda. He did, and he hasn't paid a dime of anything. I've gotten no money from either faction, the insurance, development, or trial lawyer. I basically run this entire campaign with my own money. And if you don't respect that, well, then you can go ahead and hire your a legislator that's been bought, because that's really what's happened. So this is why I'm running, folks. I'm running on behalf of citizens that want honest legislators up in office that are going to tell you exactly what they're going to do and do exactly what they tell you they're going to do. That's my agenda, and that's what I'm here to do. I'm straightforward, tell you the honest truth, and I'm not bought by anybody, nor will I ever be. So I appreciate it.
Thank
If you have any questions, I'll answer any questions you want.
We have the next agenda item was the monthly meeting notice.
Talisha, do you have any information about the monthly meeting notice signs that are changed for Thursday night here?
What did you say that again? I'm sorry.
The monthly meeting notice sign.
So I didn't get an answer, but those signs are still out and we haven't gotten them up. There's probably about 6 of them that are out. And it showed that Thursday night is the meetings now.
Okay, so the ones that are out, those still have the duct tape and the marker?
Right.
Yeah, so the same person that did the signs that David talked about earlier, we're probably gonna reach out to them and have them redo the signs.
I would like to make a motion that that's an action item, that that we reach out to have the signs updated.
Absolutely, yeah, we just gotta get a quote and provide it to the county.
Okay, so Jack, are you saying there is no money to do new signs with our new date? So Jack is saying that if we take action on that, we won't have money to make our signs look nice until October. Okay.
I should read some of these. These are the, I'm backed by the RCS. Thank you. And then I have some of these as well. I'm gonna head back to Ponte Vedra.
Well, maybe the motion should be that we take action to collect quotes so that we're ready to roll in October.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate
We
it.
all agree on that. What about you, Talisha? We go ahead and get quotes so that we're ready to roll?
Sounds like you're good.
3 quotes. I say yes.
I agree.
Yes. Okay. Motion to collect quotes on new signs with our correct meeting date.
You wanna make him out of here?
Bill, you want me to bring up that?
Okay.
road?
Now it's the Hastings back to school event?
Yeah, Hastings back to school
Okay.
event. I don't know anything about that one.
Okay, so I attend the team up meetings by Zoom. And Emily Fox that leads those team up meetings in Hastings, she had volunteered to make quarter sheet flyers, kind of like what we did for our spring fling. But this is an event in Wilkie Park, you know, in Hastings. I can tell you that it did take my family and I, it was a project for us, and we did it over a week. I just want to ask if there would be any volunteers that would want to deliver them to the mailbox flags. You can't put them inside the mailbox, but you can roll them up. And if we don't have any volunteers, then we do just want to announce that we just want to keep promoting that Hastings is having a back to school event at Wilkie Park. That's on Saturday, August 3rd. So not this Saturday, but I believe the following Saturday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. It would be a really cool event if you have kids, especially school-age kids that need school supplies. Those will be handed out. There could even be medical for like school physicals or immunizations. Also touch a truck. And I think there might even be an antique car show. So, you know, A cool event. Simon's House will be there with hot dogs, sounds wonderful. So, head on over.
And I think the community officer said that they were doing something up there too, on the 3rd. Are they having trucks up there?
Yeah, they're gonna have a touch of trucks, so
Touch of
probably
truck.
fire and police. Yeah, all that fun stuff. So that's that. And then our fall festival. Should we ask, do you have anything about the fall festival that you wanted to talk about? How about you, Talisha? Anything to add about the fall festival? No?
I have a question about it.
Okay.
What's the date?
The date is October 12th.
12th?
Yeah, I believe it's October 12th. And you know what we need to do? We need to set up the time.
Yes.
Talisha?
We lost her.
She should be there. Yeah, do you have an idea of the time you would like to set for the fall festival?
We actually set it from 10 until 2.
How about that, 10 till 2? So let's go ahead and I make a motion for Talisha's suggestion of 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Y'all agree? How about you? Yeah, Talisha, it was your idea. Sounds good. It's moved and approved.
Not really quiet over there.
Yes.
Oh, you got a voice
Yes.
I'll be in charge of getting the vendors.
Wonderful.
I'll take that responsibility on, and I will be sending out an email and at the next meeting, seeing who would like to have a vendor spot, and that vendor spot's gonna be $20.
Okay, vendor spot's $20, and I believe that $20 will be donated to the Simon's House. We already went ahead and did the motion to approve the donation to Simon's House at the last meeting. All right.
Two things.
Yes.
Going to have a bounce house again.
Bounce House,
And
Bill
I'm
Fisher.
going to have a dunk tank.
Ooh. Yes, Bounce House
And
and,
now we'll get in the dunk tank.
all right. So you're gonna supply both the Bounce House and the dunk tank?
Yes.
Thank you.
Do you need volunteers for the dunk tank?
I have talked to Simon and Tony about them coming to barbecue again. And I think both of them are going to do it.
Wonderful.
Do you need volunteers for the dump tank? You need volunteers for the dump?
I'll pick people.
Okay.
I think it's y'all.
Oh my. Yeah, it would feel good, wouldn't it?
But the
Maybe you should have brought it tonight.
release of liability that the county requires is tremendous.
And you've already gone through that process before,
Yes,
so hopefully
I know how to do it.
you know how to do it, you're gonna get it done. Awesome, Bill. Thank you.
That's good. Thank you.
That's great.
All right. Budget. Jack.
Yes.
So, if you could, the email that Jesse Dunn said that he would include both roadway and lighting safety project as outlined in the email that was sent. That included a proposal from Mike Page for Division Street. And also the FPL proposal was also given to you and Jesse in response to this email.
That's right, but it
to
hasn't
add-
been decided though.
Right, he says that, that he would include them in the presentation to the commission in July.
That's right.
That ultimately it's contingent upon the commission's approval in September. And that there were further logistic discussions that needed to be vetted as to what the CRA can address versus what the Flagler Estates Road and Water Control District can address. So it's in this point in the hands of the county is what I'm saying. because you've been supplied everything that we've been asked for. And then he had asked that through the email that we convene a meeting of the county CRA team to address the specific request. And once they've initially been met, that the county would be back in contact with us.
Right, so if I could just, for 1 second. So under David Williams' leadership, he and I worked on a proposed budget that we submitted to Jesse Dunn. And that was money for both the fall festival, the spring fling, contingency funding just in case there's overruns. Because you guys always have those, but you guys never have to deal with it because you just don't do it. But now, like, for example, these signs would fall into that contingency. Okay. As well as 140,000 for roads.
Which now has been lifted up to Mike Pace's proposal of 150.
Right, so and whatever that number is, as well as FPL numbers to do the new lights and the new poles. That's all that has been submitted. That was the CRA meeting. We worked and we submitted it. We met with Jesse. We met with legal. The issue stands between Jesse and legal as to what their interpretation is as to what we can do as a CRA and what we can't. And when they make that decision, then that will be submitted to the commission for approval. And then, obviously, in September, the commission will vote on the final budget. Then we'll know that.
Is the July or September meetings, are those public?
Every meeting is public.
Okay, so I think we will want to know those dates and also the date of our next quarterly meeting with the county, the Flagler Estates CRA specifically.
Yeah, I'm sure Mary Garcia will reach out to Alicia and to two of you to propose dates so that you can settle on those.
That sounds great.
That's what she does in the past.
Are we talking about the FPL, like bus stop lights? I thought we squashed that like months and months ago.
Well, basically what it came down to was converting the fixtures to LEDs, which ultimately should save us money on their efficiency. The monthly bill should go down.
That's a whole lot of money. That's what I thought that's what
It
everybody.
came down to only adding 8 new poles. And then it was the converting of the existing lights to LEDs, and then because we're paying it anyway already.
It makes no sense though, because bus stops change every year.
That is true, so the district got involved and provided elementary school stops, I believe. Talisha, do you have anything to add on how that was determined to add 8 poles?
It was determined because those poles, there wasn't poles at those particular stops. But I'm not 100% sure because David was really that was when, David was working with them on getting everything set up for FPL. But I think the big thing is where the poles have to go, the county attorney has to approve that, and there's a lot to go through with approving that. So I think that's where we're at, is seeing if she's going to approve us or FPL to put those poles up.
Yeah, so we're really stuck with the county.
Yeah, we're definitely stuck with the county on that one for sure.
Well, I hope they definitely drop that shit, because I think everybody in the whole room voted no on that. That we did not want to spend extra money on any of that crap. It's pointless.
Well, the point is, I think right now the monthly bill is like $4,000 a month we're paying to light those poles currently.
Why are we paying it at all? I mean,
They were originally constructed so that when it's dark with the time change, the kids aren't waiting in the dark and it's hard to see them sometimes. And so they originally were put up for safety of the kids.
You got seven traffic lights on Flagler Estates Boulevard between Kircher and the Buzzword. 4 of them don't work.
Well, I wonder, the ones that aren't working, we probably need to get the address of those and see if they're on the list of the ones being paid from us.
The Buzzmore, like one of the Buzzmore.
Yeah, the question would be who initiated the poll? Because residents, they can apply to have polls set up, but if they at some point decide that they're not gonna pay the bill, the light's gonna go, it's gonna go off. It's not powered. So we would need to figure out if residents own them or constructed those, initiated them, or if that was part of the CRA project to put those street lights up.
No, we had CRA ever started down here.
The one by the bus mart. I don't know.
Which probably means that some of it.
Like you say, why you wanna spend the money?
Well, what it is we're already lighting it up,
For it no matter
and I
what.
kind of feel like if we could pay less every month
If they're
with
out.
the conversion to the LED, but it wasn't my watch. Quite frankly, we are so eager to get over the old business and move forward, because we are here as a new steering committee, and we are still trying to deal with old
That's
business.
okay, that's what you're here for, that's what you got into it, so you take the word with the good, okay?
True, yeah.
Plain and simple.
The polls.
But yeah, if we could get the address of the ones that are burnt out or
Yeah.
whatever, maybe we can try to
They
compare it to
all
the
got
list and see who's.
identification numbers on those polls. They don't? Well, I looked at the one in front of Buzzmart, it has no ID number on it. I know when I called about the one on.
We know.
It's not private owners, you see the lights so far apart.
Right,
Yeah.
and I
Down the
think
road.
that might have been done in the whole, I believe that the school district supplied us with a list, and then that list was compared to a list of the polls that the CRA, but you know what, I wasn't on this past year, so that's a question, Talisha, do you think that
We need to find out which polls
Yeah.
are there, which we're paying for,
That
and
we,
which
um,
we don't need.
yeah, I think we need to make,
Yeah, but
take some
If
action,
you
do you have
stop
any
paying
list
for
of what we're
Then
paying
the ones that go out,
We
those
will.
were y'all.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
There you go, that's
Yeah.
it.
Stop paying.
Road water is that pays for.
Sure you can.
But you can't.
Yes, you can, they just turn them off.
They still give you a buck.
Hold on a second, Talisha, can you say that again?
I said I do believe that there was a list done for the lights that work and the ones that don't work, and we can get that list from David.
Oh,
I was gonna say,
Okay.
David reported to me that he did a thorough inventory of all the lights and all the bus stops, so that he could create a matrix knowing where the bus is stopping, where the light poles are and all that.
okay, so, Talisha, will you talk with David to try to get that list? And then we can find out if there's some lights on there that don't work that Bill's talking about.
I'm gonna have something by the next meeting.
Okay, Talisha will have something by the next meeting, thank you.
Okay. We don't, does anybody have an update on the broadband?
I don't,
No, it's been on the broadband, unless Jack has one, but I don't think he does, but I don't think there's an update on that one either.
yeah, and, our ad hoc member is not here.
Alright. As y'all know, we have another position on the board that's open. And we're asking anybody that wants to be vice secretary to fill out information sheet and submit it to us. And we will talk through it. We currently have
two that were interested, I've only received one back. And it's a real simple form. Are you at least 18 years of age? Do you live in Flagler Estates? How do you prefer that we contact you, and what would you most like us to know about you and your reasons for joining the Flagler Estates CRA Steering Committee as Vice Secretary?
Cool.
So folks,
I'll take it.
There you go, Scott.
there you go. Would anyone else like it?
I ain't got nothing better to do with my life.
And they're also on the table. They're also on the table up front.
alright,
We'll do the vice
alright.
Well,
Any public comments? We do have, we already talked about it. We wanna talk about it again?
What the hell on my list?
Fire station
Oh, yeah, it's gonna happen.
and streetlights.
They're not gonna happen.
Thank God.
Do you have a makeup right now, or do y'all need me anymore?
I think we're about to close,
Yeah.
so
The
was
only
there
other thing
anything
I
else?
got is, I've finally been approved about the Boy Scout troop with Flagler Estates.
Oh, yay.
The applications are on the table over there. I've already got 6 at home.
Very good.
Wonderful,
It's
thanks.
gonna happen.
Awesome.
Right.
And I noticed somebody's got paperwork for Girl Scout troop. It's on the same ticket.
Oh, okay. I
And I don't know who it is.
I don't either. And I have another request from Dean.
Yes, the reason I'm saying that, when this CRA meeting started, it was about roads.
Yep.
Before Sharon got in, she was up there attacking, like they said, what CRA people said, that Flagler Estate's gonna handle Flagler Estates and y'all gonna get out of it. Where do you live? What road do you live on? Huh?
Calvin.
Okay, why are you worried about this one road all the time?
Flagler State, which one?
No, the, where all.
Division Street.
Division Street, how far you live on Division?
Oh, that's about the school district making a request for improvements in Flagler Estates for the safety and transporting the kids on
Anyhow,
school buses.
that's where you almost live at. And you want Flagler Estates Road and Water to get out of business, but you won't help on your road. On the
That was
business.
decided with last year, that was also
I didn't hear
approved, the
that.
request.
I was here, I didn't hear nothing about that.
Okay, the minutes,
been
I mean,
trying
I'm gonna
30
be
years
posting
to
the
get
minutes
mine.
now.
I've been trying 30 years to get my road done. Why are you worried for it?
I think that what you need to do is make requests with the Flagler Estates Road and Water
No,
Control
I'm
District.
talking to you, the CRA, because that's how you're supposed to start. You started it, your company started because of roads. Now you want to get out of it,
I don't have a company that does roads.
CRA, okay?
Well, okay, so the CRA, that is one of the objectives with infrastructure.
Exactly.
Okay, however, we have to remember that the Road and Water Control District, our special district, Mike is the foreman, and he creates plans of when roads are gonna be paved based on the needs, I believe. So we have to remember, they have their regular plan, but we got involved this time with the road because it was a special request through the school district.
That's where you live at. Close on that road. I've been waiting 30 years to get mine done. 30 years, and I had a boy on my road, he was in a wheelchair in 1923 or 21. I tried to get the road paved for the boy, he had to move. So, if I was an emergency,
Well, I know that there's a conversation between us, CRA, and the road department
yes.
for different things. I know Division Street was separate, but for the school came up with that. And I know Mike is trying
Mike,
to,
that works hard.
he's trying to get a good list of all the roads that need help. And as people need help, they're submitting stuff and they're fixing potholes and culverts and
Right.
other things. But there's only so much they can do too. And I know you and I did too. We went to the last road meeting, and I think it's important that people start going to road meetings to voice their concern
Exactly,
too.
I do the same thing, I did on my site, I tell them, y'all need to go to CRA meetings,
Yes,
you need to go to road and water meetings.
because they have to
If not,
jointly
keep
do
them
things. I know. You have to
But I
jointly
don't
do it.
understand why, are you gonna stay out of road and water? Legally,
I think that's their
Legal,
regular
legal.
business, I don't know.
legally.
I wish Russell was here.
Rusty.
Or Rusty, yeah, the
I think what
attorney
he's asking
for
is
the
Okay.
Flagler States
bylaws,
Road and
isn't it?
Water.
You know all about it.
The
Bill.
CRA was established September 17th, 2002 by a resolution 2002-185 through the funding of the existing slum and blighted areas in Flagler Estates. The purpose was to reduce these and improve roadways and storm water infrastructure and try to eliminate blighted areas. And you have to have, you sort of steering committee and a redevelopment plan. Do you have one?
The redevelopment plan was created. It is a document that is available, I believe, to the public. However, there's been a new
It was
website
published in the-
overhaul, and it's harder to find it.
It was published in the year 2000. Seems to me it ought to be all up to date.
Well, there,
We sure will.
there is a plan. It was posted. I'm not aware that it ever got,
I have seen.
I'm not aware that anything has ever happened to create a new redevelopment area plan here.
Probably should be though, if it's
Can
since
we get
20,
copies?
since 2000, that's 24 years. Update.
Yeah, Jack, if you could email us a link to the plan, because I tried to find it recently on the website. And there's been some changes to the website, and I'm not able to find it anymore. So if you can locate the link and email it to us, and then would we be able to make the request for copies to have available for viewing at the next meeting?
That's
great. Okay. I mean, at least to have it in a binder or something for residents to page through and look at it, something.
PDF.
Yeah, PDF. Well, there is a PDF file. There was.
At one
I
time.
don't know what
Can't
happened
find
to it.
But if we can get it and post it on the CRA website or something.
Right.
Okay, right. And then we can start adding it.
Yeah, the link used to be on the Facebook page. However, now that link no longer works because they've done changes to the website. Okay, are we?
Yeah. Meeting adjourned.
Oh, I wanted to talk about it some more.
Yep.
All right.
Come on, I got you.
Well, keep Bernie going home.
So we're calling it adjourned.
Talk to the internet.